Hi there, and welcome to our video on the importance of emergency funds. Life is unpredictable, and you never know what kind of unexpected expenses could come your way. Having an emergency fund is crucial to protect yourself from these events and avoid falling into debt. In this video, we'll be discussing why emergency funds are important and providing you with tips on how to start building your own. So, whether you are just starting out in your financial journey or you're looking for ways to improve your current saving strategy, this video is for you. So, let's dive in. In this section, we're going to talk about the importance of emergency funds. An emergency fund is a stash of money that you set aside specifically for unexpected expenses that life can throw your way. Having an emergency fund is essential for protecting yourself from unexpected expenses and reducing financial stress. You never know when an emergency can arise, such as a sudden car breakdown or an unexpected medical bill. Without an emergency fund, you might have to rely on credit cards or loans to cover these costs, which can lead to debt and financial hardship. Additionally, having an emergency fund can help you avoid debt and improve your credit score. If you have money saved for emergencies, you won't have to rely on credit cards or loans to cover unexpected expenses. This can help you maintain good credit standing and avoid the negative consequences of debt. So, how much should you save in your emergency fund? Financial experts recommend saving at least 3 to 6 months of living expenses. This can vary depending on your situation, so it's important to take into account factors such as your income, expenses, and job stability when determining the amount you should save. Now that you understand the importance of emergency funds, let's move on to the next tip. Now that you understand the importance of having an emergency fund, let's talk about how to start building one. First, set a goal for how much you want to save in your emergency fund. Experts typically recommend having 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses set aside. Keep in mind that this may take some time to achieve, so don't get discouraged if it takes a while to reach your goal. One practical tip for building your emergency fund is to automate your savings. Set up automatic transfers from your checking account to your emergency fund account each month. This way, you won't have to remember to make the transfer manually, and you'll be more likely to consistently save. Another tip is to cut expenses wherever you can. Look for areas in your budget where you can reduce spending, such as dining out, subscriptions, or other discretionary expenses. This extra money can be put directly into your emergency fund. It's important to make your emergency fund easily accessible in case you need to use it, but it should also be separate from your other accounts. Consider opening a high-yield savings account specifically for your emergency fund. This will keep it separate and help it grow with interest over time. Remember, you don't have to reach your goal overnight. Start small and gradually increase your savings over time. The key is to make saving for emergencies a consistent habit. Once you have an emergency fund in place, it's important to use it wisely. Here are some guidelines to help you make the most of your emergency fund. First, only use your emergency fund for true emergencies, such as unexpected medical expenses, car repairs, or job loss. Avoid dipping into your emergency fund for non-essential expenses like vacations or entertainment. Second, make sure to replenish your emergency fund after use. Try to build it back up as soon as possible, even if it means cutting back on other expenses for a while. During an emergency, it's essential to prioritize your expenses. Start by covering the essentials, such as food, housing, and transportation. Next, focus on any outstanding debts, and try to make at least the minimum payments to avoid damaging your credit score. Finally, if you find yourself in a financial emergency that goes beyond your emergency fund, don't be afraid to seek additional resources and guidance. Reach out to your bank, financial advisor, or a nonprofit organization for help and support. Remember, your emergency fund is there to help you weather life's unexpected events, but it's up to you to use it wisely. Now that you have started building your emergency fund, it's important to keep it up to date and adjust it as your financial situation changes. Here are some tips for maintaining your emergency fund. First, make sure to regularly review your emergency fund to ensure that it is still sufficient for your needs. As your income or expenses change, you may need to adjust your savings rate or increase your savings goals. It's also important to keep your emergency fund separate from your regular savings or checking accounts. This can help you avoid accidentally dipping into your emergency fund for non-emergencies. Another way to maintain your emergency fund is to prioritize it in your budgeting and financial planning. Make it a regular part of your monthly expenses and savings goals, just like you would with rent or a car payment. Finally, consider setting up automatic savings transfers to your emergency fund. This can help you stay on track with your savings goals and ensure that you are regularly contributing to your emergency fund. Remember, your emergency fund is an important part of your financial safety net. By maintaining it, you can protect yourself from unexpected expenses and be better prepared for whatever life throws your way. In this video, we've discussed the importance of having an emergency fund and how it can protect you from unexpected financial challenges. We've covered tips for understanding the benefits of emergency funds, starting to build your fund, using it wisely during emergencies, and maintaining it over time. Remember, an emergency fund can provide peace of mind and help you avoid unnecessary debt, but it requires consistent effort and planning. Start building your emergency fund today, even if it's just a small amount, and make it a regular part of your financial planning and budgeting. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more financial tips and advice.